All right, everybody, so this is part 2 of our math lesson for this morning. So we just got done doing number 1 and number 2. So now you're going to move on to number 4. So let's look at the directions. Let's look at the directions for number 4. It says, write a multiplication sentence for each expression. You might skip count to find the totals. So if we look at A, it says 6 2's. So that one they've already done for us. So 6 2's, the multiplication sentence would be 6 times 2 equals 12. Okay, let's look at B. B asks for 2 6's. Okay, so do A and B connect? Are they similar? They are. But for 2 6's, we're going to write 2 times 6 equals 12. Okay, did you even need to do a skip count for that problem? No, because if 6 times 2 equals 12, we can flip those factors around and we know that 2 times 6 equals 12. The factors switch, but the answer stays the same. Okay, let's look at 7 2's. For 7 2's, it's the same as saying 6 groups of 2, or 7 groups of 2, or 7 times 2. Okay, I don't know that one, so I'm going to go ahead and write my skip count. So we're going to skip count by 7 2 times. I'm going to write this underneath. So we have 7, 14. Didn't need to go very far, so 7 times 2 equals 14. Okay, let's look at D up here. D asks for 2 7's. Okay, is that connected to our last problem? It is. So instead of 7 times 2, this time we're going to be doing 2 times 7. Do I need to do a skip count for this problem? Nope, because if 7 times 2 equals 14, then 2 times 7 will also equal 14. That's that commutative property. We can switch the factors, but the answer stays the same. Let's look at E. For E, we have 9 2's. So for this problem, we'll have 9 times 2. I'm going to go ahead and write out my skip count for my 9's. So I have 9. Let's see if I skip count by another 9. I get 18. So 9 times 2 equals 18. If I look at my next problem, I have 2 9's. So just like the last few problems, they're just switching the factors around. So instead of 9 times 2, this time I would have 2 times 9. And I don't need to do a skip count because I already know that 9 times 2 is 18. So then 2 times 9 is also equal to 18. So that's just practicing switching those factors around to find the same answer. Great job. We're going to go ahead and skip to number 5. So number 5 says, write and solve multiplication sentences where the second factor represents the size of the row. So for both of these arrays, we're going to be writing multiplication sentences, and the second factor has to equal the size of the row. So the second factor would be this one right here. So let's look at this first array. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and then I see 2 in each row. So let's think. The second factor has to be equal to the size of the row. Well, we just said there's 2 in each row. So this factor would be 2. Okay, and I also know for my first factor, I would be looking at the number of rows. So there are 4 rows of 2 in this array. So let's go ahead. What will we be skip counting by to find our total? 2, because there's 2 in each row. So let's do that together. 2, 4, 6, 8. So 4 rows of 2 is equal to 8. Okay, now let's look at this array over here. It looks a little bit different. For this array, how many rows do we have? 2. Okay, let's count to see how many are in each row. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the size of the row in this problem is 4. So now I would skip count by what number? 4s. Let's go ahead and do that together. 4, 8. So 2 rows or 2 groups of 4 is equal to 8. Once again, that's just practicing that commutative property. We switched the order of the factors so that 4 and 2 switched places, but we got the same answer of 8. All right, let's move on to number 7. It says, find the missing factor to make each equation true. Okay, so if you look at these, all they're doing is switching the factors around. So we have 5 times 2 equals 2 times blank. Okay, well, if you look at this side of the equal sign, we have 5 and 2. Okay, but then if you look at the other side, in the blank, which number is missing? 5. So we're saying that 5 times 2 is equal to 2 times 5. That's that commutative property we were talking about. Okay, so blank times 8 equals 8 times 2. Okay, what number would we put in the blank to make the equation true? Which number is missing? 2. So 2 times 8 equals 8 times 2. Our next problem, 2 times 10 equals blank times 2. Which number is missing? 10. So 2 times 10 equals 10 times 2. Okay, last one. 2 times blank equals 9 times 2. Which number is missing? 9. So we would have 2 times 9 equals 9 times 2. All right, that's where we're going to go ahead and stop, friends. So on Seesaw, you will have an assignment, and it will be almost the exact same thing as what we just did on our problem set, but the numbers will be a little different. So on your homework page that I've assigned to you, you're going to do numbers 1, 2, so just like these two, it'll be almost the same thing. Then you're going to be doing number 4, just like we did together. Number 5, just like we did together. And number 7, like we did together. So the numbers will be just a little bit different than on our problem set, okay, but the idea will stay the same. So if you need help with those problems, come back and watch our video again because they're very similar. Good luck, you guys will do great.